Today I'm going to teach you how to shop for your best evening gown. My name is Dani Walker. I'm a pageant coach and I was also a former Miss Montana USA. If you are brand new to my channel and want to see a lot more content like this that is going to help you to capture your dream title, then make sure to subscribe and don't forget to ring that notifications bell so that you know when new episodes come out each week. Okay, now if you are ready to change the way that you shop for evening gowns, then comment Queen down below and let's get into it with our very first tip. This is something that I learned was so important along the way because it really affected how I was able to visualize my entire look, and that is hair and makeup. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go full pageant day glam when you go out shopping, but if you want to, go ahead, do you. But it is important to put on, I would say, a little bit of makeup. Make sure that you brush your hair. If you want to curl it or style it however you want to style it for the pageant, then go for it. I think that this is really important because it helps you to visualize how the final product is going to look. In the past, I used to go shopping for my gowns and I would literally roll out of bed and head over to the store, and I never felt really good about myself when I was trying things on because it was hard for me to be able to picture how that final product would look. This is also something I actually do when I get my hair done. I always like to put a little bit of makeup on so that I could really see that full picture of how my hair turned out. I don't know if I'm the only one who does that, but if you do it too, give this episode a thumbs up. I kind of want to know if that's something that lots of girls do. Next thing we want to think about is your skin tone. If you're competing in the summertime, but you're purchasing your gown in the winter, chances are you're going to be a little more tan in the summertime, or even vice versa. So keep this in mind. If you want to go the extra mile, you can go ahead and get a spray tan if that's how you're actually going to look at your pageant. So you have a really, really great idea of what colors are going to work best on you for your pageant. Let's talk a little bit more about hair because this is one of those things that is going to once again determine what's going to look the best on you. So when you're going and trying on your gowns, try to make sure that your hair color is as close to the color that you want it to be at when you compete at the pageant. And this is something that I think is so important because hair color is gonna change everything for you. It changes your entire look on stage. It can practically make you look like a different person, but it's really going to affect the styles that are gonna look awesome on you on stage. So if you guys actually look at my Instagram account and you scroll way back to when I was competing for Miss Montana USA or when I was preparing, if you take a look at the photos where I was wearing gowns, you'll notice how as my hair color changed, I started wearing different colors. And that was very strategic. And actually, I grew out my natural hair the last time I had competed for Montana because the person who designed my gown, which was Fernando Wong, he told me that white would be best for me. And I knew that if I had really, really light hair with my tan skin tone and on my white dress, it might not be the best look. And I wanted to have that contrast. So I grew out that natural hair so it was nice and dark and a great contrast against my white gown. And that's something that you can look at and pay attention to if you guys just scroll through my social media, and you'll kind of notice those changes along the way. And actually, while you're there, if you do check it out, then make sure to follow as well. One thing I started doing along my pageant journey when I would go out and try on dresses was to pack a little goodie bag, and this bag had a few things in it. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Shapewear and Boob cups. Oh my gosh, I am such a fan of Shapewear because it makes a difference for so many gown styles, especially if you happen to find a style that you love that's not lined. So keep that in mind, like bring some of your shapewear with you. Also, bring those boob cups if you're going to be wearing anything to kind of like add some volume to your bust for the pageant, or bring a strapless bra. Bring whatever it is, but I always used to pack a bag when I would go shopping with all those sorts of things so that I can really see, okay, if I like this gown, is it going to actually work for me when I have all the right undergarments? So I would just always bring those with me when I went shopping. The next thing that was really important was a great pair of heels that I would pack in my bag. And I would say that if you're a shorter contestant and you already know that you're gonna wear a platform heel, then pack a platform heel that's similar to what you think you might wear at the pageant. If you don't care and you're super tall and you're like, it could be any heel, I'm not sure, I don't have the heels yet, then just choose a basic stiletto or a block heel, but really something that's gonna be a little bit comparable to what you might wear at the pageant is best. Not all gown stores carry heels that you can try on. I always hated putting on a dress and then standing on my tiptoes and trying to figure out if this would work for me, so I started packing heels and it made a really big difference. Also, it's nice knowing that I'm just wearing my shoes and not shoes that 100 other people have tried on. Now this tip is a little bit tedious, but I think that there's a really, really good reason for it. So there are two types of gown shopping trips. One is going to be my try-on trip and one is going to be my purchasing trip. And this is something that I started doing later in pageantry because it made things a lot easier. I had a lot more clarity and I really enjoyed the entire process. So the first trip that I encourage you to take is just a try-on trip, meaning that you have no intention of buying anything on that trip. The whole point is to go from store to store to store and try on as many gowns as possible. I want you to try on the stuff that you think that you would love, try on the stuff that maybe doesn't look so great on a hanger, just to see what actually looks the absolute best on you. And the reason that I don't suggest buying anything on this particular trip is because it's exhausting to travel all day to go from store to store and try on a ton of dresses. And then also it creates what we would call gown or dress fatigue, where you see so many different styles that all of a sudden you don't know what you want, you lose that clarity, and you're just unsure of everything. A lot of times when contestants buy a gown on this type of trip, they don't end up happy with the result because they end up picking a style that they bought just so they could get out of the dress store, just so they could get this over with. And I really don't encourage that. So take a try-on trip to narrow down the colors, the styles, the shapes, the fabrics that you want, that you are looking for, that are gonna look the best on you. Also, it's sort of nice to go home, think things over, do a little bit more research to figure out, is that actually what I want? Is it the best for me? Is it how I want to be seen on stage? The next trip you will take is your final trip. This is the I'm on a mission trip. So after you've tried on all these different styles, you've had a little bit of time to rest, to think things over, and you've decided these are the specific colors I want, I really like this shape, I really like this fabric, then you're gonna go back to your gown stores and you are going to only look at gowns that meet those requirements. So for example, one time I wanted to wear a red simple dress. I wore that when I was first runner-up at Miss Montana USA. I actually never even tried on that dress. I ended up trading another contestant gowns because I went on that first try-on trip and I narrowed down my selection, and then when I saw this one gown, I was like, oh my gosh, this gown has absolutely everything that I was looking for in a gown, and it made my decision so easy. So that's why that try-on trip is so important, so that when you go on your I'm on a mission trip and you know what you want, you are not wasting your time, you're not getting exhausted trying on 50 different styles. You go in and you tell a sales associate, I only want to see blue mermaid style gowns. Perfect, done. And then they only have a few options for you. So I really encourage you to separate these two different trips, so then when you go in for that second trip and you are excited, you are fresh, you have your hair and your makeup, you got your spray tan, you got your hair done, you got everything going on, you brought all your undergarments and your shoes, you are ready to go, so that when you put on that gown that you are really, really looking for, that's gonna look the best on you, that's the best for your pageant system, that you get to have that, this is the gown moment. This is it. This is my dress, so that you can truly be happy with the style that you wear. And this is something that I started doing, like I said, later on in my years in pageantry, and it's what I encourage a lot of contestants to do. So if this information that I just shared with you was valuable to you, or you know someone who can use it, please do me a favor. Please just share this episode. All you have to do is take a screenshot, post it to an Instagram story, tag me at Dani Walker, and hashtag me Dani Walker so that I can find behind it so that I can repost and share with all of my followers too, because I love doing that. And really just tell me what your thoughts were on this episode. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you have more questions about pageant prep or choosing your best gown. And don't forget to check out that other episode that I linked earlier in this video, which is all about finding that best gown. And if you guys want even more tips than I've already shared, then click the description below. I have linked my dress guide, and this is a checklist that I run through whenever I am styling my own coaching clients, and I make sure that their gown is going to meet all of these different requirements so that they can feel their best in the dress, but also so that they're wearing a gown that is going to be competitive for their particular pageant system. So be sure to take advantage of that free resource by just clicking the description below. Aside from that, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it and that you've subscribed and you hit that notification bell so that you're going to be back with me every single week for lots more tips like this so that you can capture your own dream title, because I would love to help you to do that and accomplish that goal. So thanks for watching this episode. Love you all so much, and don't forget to love one another.